his computer. Boom. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the Lindy Bro Radio Show, episode numero 5, number 5, with my co-host and brother from the same mother, John Lindmark. John, how you doing over there? He's excited. Why is he excited?
I'm excited. I'm excited for us talking about Bill Wurtz, and also a little extra of a fun thing that we're going to do on this show. But I mean, also like life is good. You know, it's Biden is president-elect.
Yeah. The coup's probably not going to work. You know.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, when you have like pretty much except for a few, almost every other world, like leader being like, yo, Biden, let's connect.
That happens all the time with other stuff where like Turkey, it's just or the bomb becomes leader and everybody's like, wait, but what about that other guy? And they're like, whatever.
Yeah. So, you're not wrong. Yeah. Especially, like Venezuela had that too. And like we even backed the dude, and
we got issues on the global stage, but overall it's pretty good. But yeah, we're doing well. We're still rich, white, straight American males.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Things are breaking our way all the time.
Born this way. Never didn't have it. Yeah, a thing that I'm trying to do is try to be more funny, and so expect that to happen today. As another,
you're just gonna be gasping for air.
I'm gonna be funnier. I am trying to be a satirist more, though. That's a goal that I have that I'm working on with my vocal coach. We're gonna do an unboxing to start here, though. I got a box from. I know this is not really part of the show, but it's a radio show, and so we have a box over here. And unboxing stuff is an exciting thing. As you can see down here, there's a box knocked over. Things are gonna be okay. Things are gonna be okay. But I knocked over my freaking Yeti mic. In any case, we got a box over here, and we're gonna pull stuff out of it because John's gonna be excited. This is an REI box. For years I've been getting more and more REI gift cards from our aunt and uncle, and now I'm buying some stuff. First off, look at this bad boy.
Oh my gosh.
What a beautiful 32 ounces Yeti.
Exactly.
Arguably too big. That's what you can
say. You can kill a man with it.
You can kill a Yeti. That's how you know. It keeps stuff warm. That's what I'm excited for. My hands are cold. I have Renaults, so that's a cool thing.
And honestly, we have
got a Yeti,
we got a hydro flask. We don't have actually we got a couple of Yeti coolers, and they're honestly incredibly effective. But like the crazy thing with like a hydro flask, any of those sort of like vacuum sealed like high quality thermoses,
they keep the temp.
It is insane. Like we'll put like hot chocolate in, drive up to the mountains, hike most of the way up of like a 14 or whatever, and then like open it and be like, oh fuck, that's still hot.
It's too hot. I'm getting burned by McDonald's, with the freaking thing where they made their shit too hot. Second thing here, we got, what is this? Boom. It's 3 liters. That's a good amount. You don't want the 2 liters. I bought the 3 liters. This is bad. 3. This is a Camelback, but Camelback not good ratings, so buy this other one. I recommend it. We're being sponsored by all these things, by the way. If you want to sponsor our show, please reach out. Next thing we got, I had my shit was stolen back in the day, but now I'm rebuying it. I'm using, you've seen it, our dad's 1970s pot. Not a great pot. You have to pick it up with your hands. It's a little hot. And boom, look at this little pot set. A lot of little pots and pans in there.
Which one is it?
This is the it's MSR or GSI after all.
GSI.
It's good price. Nice. I had this one on the Colorado Trail. This one I had on the Colorado Trail. Yeah. And so you saw that bad boy. And I believe the last thing.
It's not a snow peak. It's no snow peak.
It's not a snow peak, but it's whatever. This last one, little socks. I have warm or cold toes, and so these are. I actually read some stuff about how these are liner socks, and so I also bought some darn tough socks, which are coming on in the future. But you can put the liner socks underneath, and in theory, it keeps your toes warm. So that's what we got today.
That is true. I think there's a weird thing about. I was actually talking to my dad about this. Wearing a thinner sock when you wear ski boots can be better because it's like. The liner of a boot is designed to be insulative and supportive and all those things.
You want your circulation, right?
Well, you definitely don't want to like have it be too tight and so nobody wants to see that.
Just me being funny. Just me being funny.
Okay, so your speech goes sort of set you off on the wrong track.
Wrong track. I'm doing stand-up. So today, well, first what we're going to do, so we're going to talk about Bill Wurtz in a second, and then we're going to talk about Jesus, and then we're going to do the 5 songs at the end. But before that, John just shared with us this amazing meme, and so we're going to share it with everybody.
It's the meme itself, and you may have seen like something or it in some sort of meme form or whatever, but it's incredible.
Can you see my screen?
I sure can.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna we love cats, so let's check out this meme. Tell me how the sound is. Oh my god.
It's just it's perfect in so many ways. That video. That composited cat is vibing.
Yeah.
And also like that, that musician is just killing it.
Also vibing, yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the there's like a bunch of photos of animals sort of photobombing photos across, like maybe like time photos and things like that, like a squirrel like popping up in front of a a video or a photo or whatever, and that's the kind of feeling that I get from this, where like the cat just sort of like popped up and it is just like way too close to the camera and just vibing.
So funny. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Those photo bombs where it's like it's in nature, and then the animal will come in and like fuck with your photo or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So funny. So what a good meme. So
yeah. Sorry, Dawkins.
Sorry, Dawkins. Yeah. So we're gonna check out Bill Wurtz to start here. And I guess one question, John, should we play? We can play the Spoots, or we can do it on YouTube. Do you think we should do any of them on YouTube?
Let's stick with Spoots.
Okay, great.
I think the stuff that is great from Bill Wurtz on YouTube is not stuff we'll see here generally. Like his History of Japan,
History of the World, I guess.
History of the World. Mm-hmm. Both of those are like highly recommend. Put them in a link.
Yeah, they're amazing. And Bill Wurtz, he's known for those videos, History of the World, I guess, historyworld.com, I guess, and then History of Japan. And those are both amazing videos. And he's just a good dude who can create these strange, interesting videos that really groove. So we're going to listen to 3 Bill Wurtz songs today. And the first one is At the Airport Terminal. So let's check this out.
At the airport terminal, the planes are landing. Traveling somewhere and it feels fantastic. Rolling across the terminal floor. And the sky's so high and the ground so low. And I think I'm dying, but I'm just being born. At the airport terminal, the planes are landing. And through the terminal we all shall go. Airport terminal, I feel.
It's yeah. The thing is, I think with the stuff is that it takes a lot of this very distinct retro, childish, or not whatever they made, like
80s vibes, kind of.
Yeah, 80s, but it's like very I think of it as like, this is the kind of shit that you'd hear in like like children's shows or advertisements for children, things like that, where it's
advertising vibes.
Yeah, and it's very, I don't know, it's very fresh. You really don't hear a whole lot of that.
Nothing else like a Bill Wurtz.
He's also just he's got great I don't know. It's just kind of, he takes that and also puts it into like actually like really solid composition.
Yeah, I mean, such always a groover. You know, he's got so many good grooves. I love how this one, the weird noises is amazing, and then his like the little the horn stab midway through.
Sky so high and the ground so low, and I think I'm dying, but I'm just being born. The airport terminal, the planes are landing, and I think I'm dying, but I'm just being born. The airport terminal, the plane.
Yeah. Such a good groove. Let's check out another one here. When I Get Older, and you'll again get this vibe of just he's so good at making a groove and just talking about nothing. So this one's When I Get Older.
When I get older, I'm gonna be stronger, so I can lift up the whole entire world. I'm gonna hold it and lift it higher than it's been before. When I hear music, I get excited. I'm gonna sing songs to the whole entire world. And when the whole world sings to the music, that's when I'll know it worked. But my friends say I'm still a baby. Then they threw away my baby shoes. Well, excuse me, I'm going sailing into the ocean blue. When I get older, I'm gonna be wilder and write poetry in my spare time.
Grooves, man. It's just like such great, like, sort of control of that. I think one of the things is just like it's free association. Like that's I think how you sort of, he'll like say a series of things and then the last word in whatever that phrase was, he'll just like pick up off of that last word and just go like somewhere else. And it just makes it like fun and playful and unexpected, and yeah. There's
a couple good also videos of folks who do like some of these great jazz musicians that have YouTube channels. These YouTubers, they talk about Bill Wurtz and how they love him, and they talk about his harmonies and what he does, how he does really interesting things with harmonies and stuff. And it's just like, it's cool to know that there's like this. And it's funny too, but he has no musical training, I believe, and he is no musical training, and it just like is in his, and he writes all the pieces himself and does all the parts and stuff, and he makes it. And so it's like, he's a self-born legend. This last one is La Di Da Di Da Di Da Di Deo. La Di Da Di Da Di Da Di Deo. Final song, Bill Wurtz. Here we go.
I don't have enough time to say the things I want to say, to do the things I want to do, or to be like you. I just want some time to express the things I feel, just to express the things I feel, and believe them too. 2 + 2 has been 4 for so many darn years, oh Lord. I wanna write a song. Oh baby, is that just so wrong? And it goes la di da di da di da di da. La di da di, where did all the good times go? La di da di la da di dum dum la da di da. When will you come back home? I went down to the mall, then they closed down.
So small.
It's so cool because it's so, I mean, the grooves, I love when, I mean, there's like a time when you expect him to hit a snare and it doesn't at the beginning.
Some time to express the things I feel, just to express the things I feel, and believe them too.
There, you expect him to hit stuff, but he just leaves the space. And then also the during the chorus.
La-di-da-di, where did all the good times go?
like all the there's so much cool texture in his voice is doing weird harmony stuff. There's the background stuff that's going around. His drums are doing cool things. It's just like it's so full. It's full.
Yeah. I mean, it's this to me, and I think you and I connect with Bill Wurtz because it is so fresh. Like, I can't really think of a whole lot of people who are like doing stuff that's like quite the same with quite the same level of skill, and also like he has this stuff and it's like great and fun to listen to and mostly meaningless. And then he also has like History of the World, I guess, and History of Japan, and it's and both of those things are like quite different. I mean, he's like literally giving you a history of Japan and doing it with like kind of lo-fi, animation production, but then he'll throw in an occasional like little sort of melodic, stab, and it's or harmonized stab or whatever, and it sounds beautiful, and it's like very refreshing while you're watching this 20-minute long video.
Yeah, and the funny thing, the videos are only like 9 minutes, and I think History of Japan is 9 minutes, and History of the World, I guess, is like maybe 20, might be 15 though. They are. He's so fresh. I'm thinking like there's some other folks that do some like 80s jams where they are pretending to be like kind of like funny old 80s jams vibes. There aren't that many. Elevator music, 30-second kids commercial stuff though. So it's really, it's really unique. It's beautiful, and he doesn't make music anymore. He hasn't made it for like a year or two these days. Mm-hmm. But there will be time in the future maybe in which we get to have Bill Wurtz back.
Bill,
when he comes back, come
on
to
the show, man.
Bill.
Dude, you want to yak with us.
You want to yak. Yeah, it'd be great. So that's Bill Wurtz. That's our boy. Let's chat about. Let's do the like delightful pitchfork time where John and I are chatting about something hip. Which we are. We're hip. And this is a song by Cecile, or as John said, did I say it wrong or did I say it right?
Cecil.
Cecil.
I think
in any case, Cecil McLaurin Salvant, who is a MacArthur Fellow, and the MacArthur Fellowship is a good, if you're trying to look for like cool hit music, that's a good place to find it, because each year the MacArthur Fellowship gives out like 30 grants of, it's called the Genius Grant, and you get $125,000 a year for 5 years to do your shit, to do really cool stuff. And so it's given to usually maybe 5-ish or maybe 1 to 5 musical artists each year. It's given to a bunch of random different people like geoengineers, whatever it's stuff too. Geoengineers. The
science.
You got the bio, you got the geo, you got the engineer. And they yes, and so it's a cool thing. And she won in this last year. People who won in the past, the one from Carolina Chocolate Drops, who I'm forgetting the name of right now. Oh, yeah, I'll find it in a second. But so it is, this song specifically is one called John Henry, which I learned is it's like a very famous kind of slave song. And it's interesting. I wish, this should be something for us to explore on future episodes, maybe, especially with a guest. It's like the influence of slave music and of, African music and, Cajun music and stuff like that, some of those combos on, American music. So I think that because like a thing that folks would do is they would sing with each other, and both in slave times and singing other ways. And so this song, John Henry, is one of those, and it's a jazz take on it. Cecile or whatever is she does the jazz. So let's give a check here. John Henry. I'm actually gonna go a little bit here.
And the last words that I heard that poor man cry said, "Give me a cool drink of water before I die. Give me a cool drink of water before I die. Give me a cool drink of water before I die. Give me a cool drink of water before I die." John Henry went down that railroad track with a 12-pounder hammer by his side. Yes, he went down the track, but he never came back because he laid down his hammer and he He laid down his hammer and he laid down his hammer and he died. He laid down his hammer and he died.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. What I know about like the story of John Henry is it's like deeply tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's yeah. I don't know.
John Henry, for the folks who don't know, it's a John, do you know the story?
I know the general thing. You probably know more than I did, or than I do. But it's pretty much I don't know the complete background of it, but like John Henry was like, it's a story of like exceptionally strong black man who was working on railroad tracks as a slave, and I think, and he were making a tunnel or something along those lines, and there was some sort of weird tension, and he ends up pretty much like working himself to death, and that's the most superficial explanation of it. But I think that's
pretty much it. Yeah, and I think it's a sign, or as the Wikipedia says, it is a it's a sign of stuff. No, it's let me see here. Here we go. John Henry is a symbol of physical strength and endurance, of exploited labor, of the dignity of a human being against the degradations of the machine age, and of racial pride and solidarity. During World War II, his image was used in U.S. governmental propaganda as a symbol of social tolerance and diversity. Yeah, so I think it's like, it's a story of him versus the machine and how he's trying to beat it and how he eventually died trying to beat it. And there are some accounts of whether that's true or not true, etc. But it's a song where there's lots of different. Yeah, this is like many jazz songs. This is not Cecile's am I saying that right?
Cecil, I think is
Cecil?
right.
Cecil. This is not Cecil's song. This is there's like a lot of John Henry remakes and stuff like that. So this is one of them. It also reminds me, do you remember that Paul Bunyan, John Henry and Paul Bunyan thing from childhood?
I know that they're vaguely similar.
That's all. As we chat about it, man, yeah, and I was just Googling it, and there's a show that existed in 2001, which I feel like, as we're talking about, it's like I think we saw that as a kids.
Maybe we would have been 12, 9, potentially. I think briefly about the music. I think one thing I noticed in the music was that it used this like very driving, almost like train. It pretty much used the motif of a train, like. And I that is almost certainly, I would expect that to be intentional. And it helps. Just paints that picture.
Yeah, I think that it reminds me of how old time music is stuff that's supposed to feel like a train, and it's old time music is stuff where you go like, it's like. And it's like a bluegrass style where people are going like vum ba da 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 vum, and like you're like kind of getting in the vibe from, and it's really, and it gets, and it people talk about it as a precursor to trance music, where it's this kind of similar, just like pounding thing. So I think it's good. I love how she goes, he lay down in heaven till he, and he lay down in heaven till he. And then the final time she says died. For what it's worth, the person I was thinking of for the other MacArthur genius is Rhiannon Giddens, who had this album last year called "There Is No Other," an amazing album. So check out other MacArthur Genius Awards. And yeah, it's a good place to find hip music and good music. So definitely check that out. We're gonna move on now to talking about Jesus. And there are a good amount of songs about Jesus here. Surprisingly, when I looked in my songs yourself, I was like, oh God, there's a lot of Jesus songs here. I didn't choose all of them, but I chose some of them. And we're going to start with one that is a John Reese classic. Jesus Was Way Cool.
Oh my God.
It's a great song. So let's check it out.
Timeless.
Let's check it out. Jesus Was Way Cool by King Missile.
Jesus was way cool. Everybody liked Jesus. Everybody wanted to hang out with him. Anything he wanted to do, he did. He turned water into wine, and if he wanted to, he could have turned wheat into marijuana, or sugar into cocaine, or vitamin pills into amphetamines. He walked on the water and swam on the land. He would tell these stories, and people would listen. He was really cool. If you were blind or lame, you just went to Jesus, and he would put his hands on you, and you would be healed. That's so cool. He could have played guitar better than Hendrix. He could have told the future. He could have baked the most delicious cake in the world. He could have scored more goals than Wayne Gretzky. He could have danced better than Baryshnikov. Jesus could have been funnier than any comedian you can think of. Jesus was way cool. He told...
Oh,
Funny.
just so funny. So earnest. Like, yeah.
I love the line of like, Jesus, like he when he touched you, where is it?
Blind or lame, you just went to Jesus. If you were blind or lame, you just went to Jesus, and he would put his hands on you, and you would be healed. That's so cool. He could have played...
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It is also the idea that it's like framed through this kind of like avant-garde like stoner makes it so deeply like true. Like he's just like
so cool,
dude. Like Jesus was way cool. Like
way
tell me he wasn't cool. He walked on water. He swam on the ocean or swam on the land. Yeah. Like, oh man.
Totally. It's like taking a high person conversation, like, oh man, Jesus was so cool, dude. Like if you went to him, you got healed. And then taking that and then like futzing with it and saying all these different things. So it's part of a theme that we have here of like, there are other ones, and we'll play maybe one of these next. There's a bunch of funny ones like this that are like talking about Jesus in this kind of derogatory or satirical way. And so
I wouldn't call it derogatory, but
I don't know.
Sometimes this one particularly, I don't know about the others, but I don't think this one's derogatory. I think it's just like, like Jesus was way cool. Like like these things, the things I say about him. How could he not be cool? It's close
in the ironicity category where it's like a little bit honest, but it's a lot ironic. And like when they talk about like he could turn vitamin pills into methamphetamine, it's like that's a little bit on the edge. Like I wonder if like a Orthodox Christian or a evangelical Christian,
it sure would be labeled as impious. That's for sure.
Yes. But maybe less so than some of these other ones. So let's listen to
one thing I would say briefly too is that I also think the instrumentation is beautiful. And it's actually surprisingly compelling.
It's a good fit. Yeah. It's a 2-minute 45-second song, which is nice, and they just keep doing the same thing. So let's check out these next two, which are about Jesus drinking. So this first one is Jesus was a social drinker.
Social drinker. He never drank alone. He never partied at a strip club, keeping his woman up at home, or overstayed his welcome, or threw up in your sink. Nah, Jesus was never late to work, man, and he always pulled his weight. Woo! So tell me where it hurts, and I'll tell you what to feel. Wash me in the water, mama, and I'll wash you in the water. Now, Jesus, he was cool.
yeah, just a fun little. It's similar vibes. Like, yeah, he was a social drinker. Like, he's not throwing up in your sink, you know. Like,
exactly. But he's relatable, you know.
he's
like,
a steady. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't not drink, you know. Like,
yeah, he's not a weirdo like Mitt.
Exactly. A weirdo like who?
Mitt
Romney. Yeah, lol. That's what you said. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, like that one. And the chorus is kind of weird. The ba 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 ooh.
Yeah,
I don't really get it, but that's okay. This next one is "Are You Drinking with Me, Jesus," which is another drinking song about Jesus. Surprisingly, a lot of them. Here we go.
Well, I saw you sitting there. I was trying not to stare. I wasn't sure if it was you. I didn't know just what to do. Well, are you drinking with me, Jesus? I can see you very clear. Are you drinking with me, Jesus? Won't you buy a friend a beer? Well, as you know.
Yeah, that's the vibe of that one.
Big groove.
Yeah, it's a nice groove. There was a song that I was going to put on here, but decided against it. It's not that good of a song, called "Jesus on the Urinal Cake," which is kind of like when people see God on a piece of toast.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my God, it's God!" It's like that, but like going to the bathroom and like peeing on the urinal cake.
And
Oh
being
my
like,
God, Jesus!
That's Jesus.
It's just, it's a funny title, bad song though. So those are some of the, like, Jesus is cool, you know, drinking with me, Jesus kind of stuff. This next one.
1 second. I'm gonna get myself a drink, a LaCroix / a buble. One moment.
Okay, he's just leaving in the middle of the podcast. All right, whatever, in the middle of a radio show. Whatever, I guess just you and me here. There you go.
Parched. Been parched.
Parched. That was surprisingly not able to hear it, unfortunately.
Oh,
I wish, yeah, next time put it closer to the mic. Thank you for your drink. This next one is just a Kanye song, Jesus Walks. And so let's play that song, another song about Jesus.
Yeah. We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism, but most of all, we at war with ourselves. God show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. You know what the Midwest is, young and restless, but restless. Nigga. Might snatch your necklace, the next these might jack your Lexus. Somebody tell these who Kanye West is. I walk through the valley of the shadow where death is. Top floor, the view alone will leave you breathless. Try to catch it, it's kinda hard getting choked by detectives. Yeah, and I check the method. They be asking us questions, harass and arrest us, saying we eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast, huh? Y'all eat pieces of shit? What's the basis? We ain't going nowhere but got suits and cases.
It's funny. Good. There's, I mean, this is just classic, 2000s Kanye. Rip.
God,
so sad we don't get that anymore. I mean, the last couple I had from him haven't been as good as the first 10. I think there's a hilarious King Bach video. He was a Viner who's turned into a YouTuber or whatever, and it was scaring your Rip. I know, dude. Scaring your friends at a party where everybody's doing Jesus, and then trying to leave your breathless. And so he's doing that, and everybody's like worried that he's like suffocating, and then he like gets up. It's like, no, we could be good.
All in 6 seconds. What a story!
I know, it's amazing. He was so good at that. Jesus Christ. Jesus. This next one is some actual gospel here. So this is Jesus.
I think it is worth sort of commenting on how this Kanye's most recent album, self-proclaimed gospel album, actually won gospel album of the year, right?
What? No way.
It's something like. Check that. Check the.
Is it Yay? Is Yay the album title?
No, it's
what was it called? Are you talking about the
It's blue. Fuck.
Whatever, I'll find it.
Find it. I'm pretty confident it did actually win.
Jesus is King.
Jesus is King. Yeah. But in this album, he actually talks directly about how like a bunch of pretty much Orthodox and more conservative Christians like shunned him because he was like making rap music, but really he was kind of like his piety was a thing that was part of his music ever since he was making it in many ways. And sure, it wasn't like 100% like legit in the eyes of, probably Orthodox Christian, but like he pretty much makes a comment being like, y'all just like shoved me away and like, like called me trash and did all this sort of stuff. Like there's a reason I didn't like, connect with you for a while. But yeah.
Well, in fact, he could connect with them. It won no awards. It got on Metacritic a 5 out of 10. That's its rating.
What? No, hold on. Maybe it got nominated. Did it get nominated at least?
I just searched for Grammy and nothing showed up.
Grammy. Hold on.
The critical reception was nothing. You might be thinking of Life of Pablo or some other thing, but
dude, I mean, I agree that it's.
People don't like
We're gonna do a quick. Let's see.
It received a nomination from the Gospel Music Association for the Rap Hip Hop Recorded Album of the Year. So it was.
Jesus King won top Christian album, top gospel album at the Billboard Music Awards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker.
All right.
Oh my God.
I'm reading it now. That's interesting.
It didn't win anything. It had a 5 out of 10 out of Metacritic.
I only trust the meta
AKA
source.
trash.
Yeah, that's funny that it's because I command F for Grammy and it didn't with that, so I guess technically it did something at the Billboard Music Awards.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, whoopity doop scoopity. Well, that's congrats to Kanye. I love Jesus Walks because it sounds like the Iraq War. It has it just has those vibes.
It was of that era too.
It was definitely.
Yeah.
Hundo Pete. This next one's an actual gospel song. Jesus Can Work It Out. Let's check it. By Greg Harris.
I don't know what you're facing. I don't know what you're going through right now. But I come to tell you that Jesus can work it out. Regardless of what you're going through, you got to know that he's already worked it out. Oppression, depression, whatever it is, give it to Jesus because he will certainly work it out for you. Come on, put those hands together. Jesus can work it out. Can I get a witness? Jesus can work it out. He can work it out. You just wait and see.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is you wouldn't really be able to tell if that was supposed to be funny.
yeah. It's funny because it kind of like points out like one of my main qualms with a lot of religion, definitely Christianity, of the theme of like, oh hey, like don't worry about it. God's got it under control. Jesus got it under control. Do whatever you're gonna do, but like man up top's gonna figure it out for you.
Jesus gonna work it out. Jesus gonna work
and
it
it's like if you follow that logic,
he ain't.
Well, if you follow that logic, you're like, man, why do I like take accountability for anything or like try to do anything? Because like I've been told Jesus is gonna work it out for me. Like I'll just sit here and wait. Yeah, I believe in Jesus. Bring it to me. And obviously, I don't fully understand the theology, but that's.
I don't really get it, but yeah, I know. I think you're right that if you were listening to us as a Christian listener, well, it has been a pleasure having you, and goodbye. No. We're having a discussion here. I think that Christianity or Jesus can work it out. I think it's mostly just like with all these things, like when you're feeling scared or sad or uncertain, when there's uncertain things, it's like, it's going to be okay. Jesus is going to work it out. And so I think it's not. Totally. It's less like an overall excuse for just like, don't worry, Jesus is fine. But like really intense times. Like, don't worry, Jesus is there. So
yeah, and I think that's I think it's like it's often used as a tool where like things seem hopeless or seem that they're you just get caught up with yourself, and your world gets smaller, and all that sort of stuff gets smaller, and then like people take their own life or do reckless shit or do whatever, and instead like you can kind of get the one way out of that is to be like, okay, you know what, I know, I've been told, I believe Jesus is gonna work it out. I'm gonna stick it out.
I'm gonna make it through the tough time. Totally.
And the thing is, tough times, like often,
they suck,
not every time. Yeah, they suck, but they do come to an end. And often, I don't want to be. Sometimes they don't, and it's horrifying. But oftentimes, bad things don't stay bad forever.
Yeah, well, even in any bad time, you can find meaning in the badness, like in Man's Search for Meaning, where he's in a concentration camp and is trying to find meaning in his life there. So, in any case, yeah, John and I aren't really Christians, but whatever. That's why we're doing this good Jesus thing. So this next one is called Christ Jesus, and it is another song. Let's check it out.
There is a garden in the void, in the desert of space, a speck of blue dust in the vacuum of hate. So we drive to work, we walk our dogs, we make babies, we sing songs, and all along are we asleep inside the miracle of it all. Christ Jesus, would you think of us in your everlasting heart? Christ Jesus, would you dream us up again when we're gone? Christ Jesus, would you dream us up again when we're gone? When we're
Fun enough.
Fun enough. I like that actually. I think it's interesting when they do the background gospel like harmonies are kind of weird because they're like going like
sing songs.
I listen to them in the background. The harmony.
Are we asleep inside the miracle of it all? Christ Jesus, would you think of us in your everlasting heart? Christ Jesus.
Yeah. I actually really like this song. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, nice and quick, and I think
pretty much you can win the harder race if you're sub 3 minutes, you're already like a grade ahead. Yeah, I mean, actually, the imagery in the first part is unique.
Palatable. No.
It's not often I feel do musicians talk about space. And
that's the way to John's heart.
Yeah.
We got the NASA hat. Oh man, the Christian's talking about space. Okay.
Yeah. Although it was a kind of funny, it's like a blue speck in a sea of hate or something like that. I was like,
It ain't hate out there. It's just nothing. It's just an unlikely alien. There are 3 more songs we're going to listen to. One of them is a final Jesus song, the final song with Jesus in the title. All these songs, by the way, this is 7 tracks that all have Jesus in the title, which is pretty cool.
Wow. Did you find every one of them ever made?
I found every one of them. I scoured the ranges of all the interwebs. I found 50, and I listened to the best, and this is the top 7, the best 7 Jesus songs. This one is Saving Myself for Jesus, which is more about, we're getting into some sex things here. So this is like, we are now entering the kind of anal sex portion of today's radio show.
We didn't fully warn you.
It's going to be relatively PG, but also, Saving Myself for Jesus is this first one. This is not that anally, I don't think, but here we go.
Honey, I feel your bone. I'd rather sit here all alone. Oh, honey. tell me that you love me. Don't try and corrupt me. I'm saving myself for Jesus. You can titty fuck me, tie me up, dry hump me, and slap me in the face. I'll even let you call me mommy. He died upon the cross. Let me get my point across. My hymen belongs to Jesus.
Oh, yeah. That one is fully serious, by the way. No irony or sarcasm.
No irony.
Oh,
That's just a
none
classic gospel track, you know.
Yeah.
It's my hymen belongs to Jesus is a good line. It is a funny. I just in this one and the next one, it's like this idea that like you're saving yourself for God, but also there's like it's weird. And I've heard people critique some things in this way where it's like this like interesting man on man love too that happens sometimes, like your love for God but like no homo or whatever. It's like or your love for Jesus but no homo. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe it's just like you know, like there's a difference between intimacy and sex and love and sex and all that, and I think that's probably a legitimate argument. But it is, I mean, it's yeah. I'm deeply skeptical.
John and I are clearly skeptical, but saving yourself for Jesus, funny song about saving yourself for
totally. And a funny way to look at it. I think the thing is, there's often this sort of like, oh, you know, like it's like we can, you know, like you can give me a blowjob, but I'm saving myself. You know, it's like we saved ourselves for marriage. Now we're like cool in the eyes of Jesus. Now we can consummate. But I think this kind of points out kind of the funny, weird, kind of backwards ways that you could look at it and be like, oh, we can do literally anything else. Like we can do literally anything else, but as long as you don't stick the thingy in the thingy, then you know.
Well, actually, John, your the next song is called "The Loophole," which is exactly about that idea. So let's check it out. It's by Garfunkel and Oates, who are these amazing artists, and I'll talk about them in a second. But "The Loophole" is the name of this one.
Perfect.
All my life, I've been good, do what my mom and dad and God say I should. Go to church and Bible school to live by God's rule. So whatever people tell me that the Bible tells me, I will do. Walk the halls of high school with my purity ring. Unlike those other girls, I got my morals in check. It was easy to do till I got a boyfriend, and pardon my French, but he's cute as heck. But I made a pact to keep my hymen intact, and Jesus and I are tight. Never learned about the birds and bees. I was taught to keep an aspirin in between my knees, cause the Bible says premarital sex is wrong. But Jason says that guys can't wait that long. I don't wanna lose him to someone who'll do him. I need to figure something out. Well, there's a loophole in the scripture that works really well, so I can get him off without going to hell. It's my Hail Mary, full of grace. In Jesus' name we go to fifth base. Oh, thank you for making me holy, and thank you for giving me holes to choose from. And since I'm not a godless whore, they'll have to come in the back door. Therefore, fuck me in the ass, cause I love Jesus. The good Lord would want it that way. Give me that sweet sensation of a throbbing rationalization. It's just between you and me, cause everyone knows it's the sex that God can't see. It's hard.
Yeah.
Oh man. Beautiful.
Yeah, they do a good job of just a bunch of random pun things. I'm tight with Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing. I'm so holy. Something about so thank you. So holy. Giving me lots of holes. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty funny. The person, Kate McCucci, is so funny. She's just, if you can find her on the interwebs, Kate and an MICUCCI. She's just the band is great, and she especially got her start with this YouTuber duo, and she's done a lot of other really amazing things. And so the duo itself just has a lot of good funny jams.
Funny jams. The one thing that I initially like, it sounded so similar to, God, not Elsa, but the other sister in Frozen.
Yeah.
I almost thought it was her. I actually forget who plays her, but I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, like. I guess this is like cool with your Disney contract.
I don't think it's her, but yeah, that is.
I don't think it is. Yeah. But that's the sound made me think that.
Totally.
Yeah.
As one final one, that this is now we're on the final bit of the Jesus things. This song is very simple. It's called "Do You Take It in the Ass," and here it goes by the Wet Spots.
Well, my father says you're nifty, and you've heard of Baudelaire, and we both agree that human rights abuses are unfair. You understand your feelings, and you're not afraid to share, and I think I could do something with your hair. You smell nice, and you're groovy, and we both like foreign movies. My mother says you have that touch of class. Well, I can see a shining future where we'll dialogue and nurture. But there's one last thing I feel I need to ask. Do you take it in the ass? Do you take it in the ass? 'Cause you're beautiful and curvy, but unless you're kind of pervy, there's no way you and me are gonna last. Do you take it in the ass? Do you take it in the ass?
Yeah.
Classic bender of that genre normally doesn't talk about things like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's there's a whole genre of, and I forget, like, what's the name of that style, kind of like I don't know, but bossa nova swing-ish stuff. And there's a band that does a bunch of remixes of famous songs also in that style, and it has a similar vibe. It's good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's Jesus, people. He was
in
way
case
cool.
You didn't know, yeah.
He's way cool. He is.
He's
I mean, honestly,
cool with anal.
He's cool with anal. Yeah, I mean, that's what we learned. And if you're a listener here, John and I were clearly more on the atheist agnostic side, but we also, religion is cool in a lot of different ways, and it is. We just, I guess, we don't really get it, but we want you to do you, and also be accepting of others, and we will be accepting of you. That is fun. Totally. Something actually that was pretty interesting, which is, I was writing this article about the 15 lessons of the 2020 election, and one of them is about these folks who are Republican people who just don't. And this was someone on Reddit who was writing about why they didn't vote for Joe Biden but for Trump, and they were talking about the relationship with people on the left, and they were just like, these people don't. They want to remove you and your whole way of life, and I think that is, they're like, everything's cool, tolerance, whatever, but except for you and your whole way of life. And I do think there's some of that in like what we're talking about today, which is just like, haha, Jesus stuff, whatever. But like, kind of, there's a sense in which like you and I kind of want to be done with that kind of backwards living or whatever. And I don't know, I think so. I think that's just kind of interesting.
You're saying, are you validating that concern then? Is that what you're saying?
To some extent. I mean, that there's a, it's not like you and I want Christian folks to go away, but we also don't get it, and we also think that some of the things that happen can be anti-science, which is sad, and that some things that can happen can be too extreme, and where you're just like, no abortions ever. It's like, well, there's some middle ground here. I don't know where it is, but like, yeah. So I think that there's some truth to what they're saying, I guess, is, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the thing is that it's like, it's such a religion. Organized religion is sort of like this huge behemoth or whatever, but like religion is like super, people's experience with religion is super individualized. And so like some people are like, yeah, I generally believe in, like God, or that Jesus was resurrected and died for me. And then like there's, it sort of maybe trails off, or people who are like super dedicated, but also still sort of be like, yeah, like that was maybe a different time, and it was for or different whatever. And I think that there's, I understand the utility of religion for people, and I think maybe for reason I don't know for you, but like the idea is that you can also get that. I think the argument you could also get that from other
things.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. But also, again, I do like reiterate. Yeah, like do you, man? Like if you're, if you feel that it's good and you're not fucking with people's lives, like do what feels good. Like it's hard for me to.
We don't want to yuck your yum, but we don't want you to yuck other people's yums either. We're pro
exactly
yums. Yeah. Beautiful. My cat just
nice disclaimer.
Thank you. My cat just came in. Hopefully he'll hang out, but maybe not. So we're talking about Trump stuff. We're switching into the final section of today, which is the final 5 songs. And these are 5 jams, and we're going to rank them. We're going to grade them similar to how one would grade in Magic the Gathering draft picks. And we're also, they're going to put them in order. So this first one.
Reese, could you go through the grades? Just tell us, like what, like how these grades work. What would you use them in a draft for?
Well, the grades, there's S tier, which is like above A, and S tier, and these are also taken from Magic drafting, but also from stuff like Super Smash Brothers. S tier is like best song of a best genre, where it's like, oh my god, this is like a super banger.
The prototype that it can, like it has not been beaten.
Yeah, exactly. Cat come in, cat go out. The other thing that then there's A tier. And those are the good jams. You're like, this is a really good thing, and I would totally listen to this a lot. Like, it's a great thing. It's not best. It's not an all-timer, but it's pretty. It's a great
and you'd windmill slam it anytime you said.
Oh god. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, put that in my playlist for sure. Then there's a B tier, which is kind of like it's a great thing. You'd love it to be in your playlist. You're happy to listen to it. You think it's a pretty good song. It's like it's you're happy with it. Then there's kind of like the C, and I'm doing this stupid thing with my camera, but trying to get to be a little bit less. There we go. It can be less annoying. C tier is like, okay, a C plus. You're like, okay, you're happy to have that. You're like, okay, I would listen to this. Like, I can listen to it the whole way through. A C is a little bit lower. You're like, I'm not sure if I can barely even listen to this the whole way through. Like, this is fine. Like, I'll put it in my playlist, but I'm not happy about it.
It's also, I think, it's just these are like boring. Like, like sort of just completely middling tracks. It also, like a lot of like very good artists will have albums that have,
most songs
handfuls of A's, a couple B's, but most of them are C's. They're there, they're floating around. They're not, like.
If you make an album with where half the songs are C's, or where more than half the songs are above a C, that's amazing. The assumption is there's going to be tons of C's.
You're going to 7-0, no doubt.
Exactly. And then there's D's and F's, and D's and F's you just don't want them. You're not vibing with that kind of music. It's either boring or it's bad. So that's where the D's and F's are.
And then I would say too, there's a sort of extra grade variable here, which is the build around grade. So if it may be, like maybe a song isn't what you're, like generally not good, maybe you don't love it, but if you're in the right mood, or if it's, along with other specific tracks that you're jiving with and it fits there, that's where, like a build around really sort of fits. And then there's also, I don't know how sideboards work into this, but.
Let's not go too deep in that rabbit hole. So those are the grades, and we're going to start this first one called "Great Again" by James McCoy Taylor, which is a song about Trump, and it's, in my opinion, a great jam.
Carry out the law, appoint officials, pardon, make treaties, veto, conduct war, be the commander-in-chief. How long's it been since y'all heard the truth? This is all that our president is supposed to do. He ain't supposed to lead social change in the country. Kinda like a CEO, straight making us money in a country that is full of neglect. In a country that he vowed to protect. So let's all stand up for the red, white, and blue. If there's some hate in this country, then that's on me and you. That's why I'm singing this song in a red MAGA hoodie, and on the back it says we'll do it again in 2020. Cause we're taking America, making it great again. Yeah, we're taking America, making it great again. Y'all can try and tear us down, but we're gonna stand up. I'll keep it real, let you know what's up. I voted for a man named Donald J. Trump, cause when they're playing the anthem I stand up. I know that half America will too, and we ain't scared of no Kim Jong-un. And if you voted for Hillary, that's cool. Ain't nobody here gonna hate on you. I just wanna keep my freedom, keep the kids in church. And I love it when our leader lets us know that it's America first. Put your hands up. Get that son of a for Donald J. Trump. Everybody stand up. Stand up for Donald J. Trump. Separate the church and the state.
Yeah, it's this song is I think I forget where it exactly originated from, but there's this idea of like you think the same, or like if you think of things that you hate about, like say Trump or whatever, you assume that other people who support Trump like Trump because of those things, not in spite of those things. And sometimes there is an overlap, and they do like him because of it. But it's often the case where like, like, hey, like, like I prefer, like Joe Biden, in spite of maybe, like his age or, or whatever other things that, like I like, don't care for or whatever. But people, like on the Trump side would look at that and be like, oh, you like it because he, like has, like Hunter Biden had this old weird thing and then like he's super old or whatever. It's like, no, I don't like him for those reasons. Like I like him in spite of him. And I think that this sort of that track kind of outlines a little bit of.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be leading social change. He's just supposed to be leading, and he's and also he thinks America first, which is great because we're neglected, and I think that there's, and if you want to keep your kids in church, and it's like be America first. So yeah,
and they're aligned, and that is the thing is, and he's like straightforward in the sense that he's like, yeah, like I know, like we'll stand up for Donald Trump, and half the country will do too, and like yeah, it's crazy, I know. I run in the liberal circles, but in general, it blows a lot of people's minds that like Trump, like got 70+ million votes.
Yeah,
70+ million. Like in Colorado, like 42% or whatever it was, like voted for Trump, and like it's crazy when you like look at it and it's like, oh man, like life is so polarizing. But it's also like. Yeah, like they think the same thing about Biden. I don't know. It's just like
for me,
empathy is important.
Empathy important. The song is so good. I love how the song does. It's like a new age of like country plus rap, just like Old Town Road, kind of popularized in a big way. But like the freaking chorus.
Keep it real, let you know what's up. I voted for a man named Donald J. Trump. Cause when the playing the anthem, I stand up. I know that half of
them. And they got the but to what? Like amazing. And then, yeah, so good. And I love they use the America First line in a really good way.
Freedom, keep the kids in church. And I love it when our leader lets us know that it's America First.
It's so good, so good. So that's the first track. Great again.
Yeah.
This next one is Mino Minul by Benjamin S. Okay, let's check it.
Si eneng aduh nya minul sudahkah ada doinya kalau belum ada boleh dong si abang datang ke rumah dan melamarnya.
Enak aja.
Minul jelek abang perjaka.
Emang jelek.
Minul cuma abang perjaka tua
atau muda itu nomor 2.
Yeah, Yeah.
Is that something to do about like Biden or Trump or something? Just a complete.
Totally different. It's a genre of Indonesian folk music. Dangut is the name of it. It is off the album Pop Dangut Janaka and Dangdut Jawa. Dangdut is the name. Yes, it's Malaysia, Indonesia, and I love the song because it has really interesting. I mean, all the noises are so interesting, so many different ones, and especially he has a really. Like that's all so unpleasant for us to like it's just like it's tough for us to listen to that and be excited by it, but
yeah, languages are weird.
Languages are weird.
Yeah, it's being so deeply used to English makes
yeah. And I just love how it's kind of like there's been a cool thing, maybe we've talked about this in the past episode, but like how trap music combined with the Spanish rolling of the R is a good thing, because trap music has the sprinkler hi-hats, whatever, and then like people with their R's will do. I can't actually roll my R, but we'll roll R's. There you go. They do it in this amazing way where like it combines with the trap music in a cool way. So I think there's a lot of cool vocals coming up. This next one is called Zero by Melt Banana. So let's check it out. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. What is this one? Yeah, you like it? Yeah.
Oh, totally. I mean, it gets a little wall soundy, which is not the end of the world. I think that intro probably could have been maybe a little bit more diverse or a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But like I do love. I mean, like I love. We've talked about this many times. Just like very like one tone, be like, you know, like or like that kind of shit for like 8 bars. So yeah, I mean, like, and also just like kind of pays it off. You get like
the drop is good. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I agree. It could be the intro. Could be you could call it half. You could call it 2/3 the length, and I think that wouldn't be bad. So cool. So that's a Zero. Good song. This next one is Cobra Venenosa, featuring DJ Will 22, by Ludmilla. Let's check it out.
Limpa, antes que caia dentro, no cantinho da boca.
The funny thing is, I think I only heard 2 snares. There was just like, and then like, and everything else it uses that sort of like sort of like almost like synth clave.
Let me play some of that. Are you taking boom clap 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 boom clap clap? Yeah, totally. Yeah, not so I guess it has like some of the bass has some snare qualities to it. Do you hear that?
There's a little bit of like timbre in it.
Yeah, it's not like boom,
timbre,
but
timbre.
Yeah. It's guess how long the song is, John?
Oh God, it's gonna be like 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
2 minutes and 1 second, baby.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we got through half of it, you know.
Yeah, well, honestly, that's gonna come in at a A-, maybe an A.
Wow.
Like,
yeah. Pretty good. This final one is Rajadao by Pablo Vittar. Let's check it out.
A previsão do tempo diz que o céu fechou. O poder da vitória vai curar a dor. O temporal agora vai cair em mim. A chuva da vitória vai reinar no fim. E quem caiu vai levantar e a gente vai vencer. Sofrimento acabar e o amor vai crescer. Inimigos vão cair ao som desse trovão. Levanta a mão pro alto e sente o rajadão. Levanta a mão pro alto e sente o rajadão.
It's pretty high. The first part of it really reminded me of Anoni. Just it had that sort of same.
Agora vai cair em mim. A chuva da vitória vai reinar. Levanta a mão pro alto e sente o rajadão.
Yeah, and like with like One Tricks Point Never, like obviously not quite as interesting, but still like pretty good. I mean, I dig the vibe, you know.
I think they do a great job. I mean, this is an amazing part where they. Where they take the voice. I think this is the next one. That. You know, like that's pretty cool that they're like flexing with the voice. You know,
it's like we don't have Ben on the show. Is a vocoder or a voice box or a voice synthy?
They're doing something.
Yeah.
The end of the song, I just want to play a little bit of it, which is. Yeah, so sick. That thing where they go from the like voice.
A very similar thing, different kind of energy, but a very similar thing happens in Sone's Blood Flows. Yeah. At the end of, what's up? Oh, just at the end where he like sings the last part of this line, sort of it hangs out there, and he takes that sample and like, yeah, and it does that for 40 seconds. I'm psyched about it.
Yeah, I think that happens. It's a great thing that people will do these days, is using the vocal, using those as the repeated melodies, voice as pitch shifted voices, repeated melodies. I think I would just push back a little bit and say that I do think the song, you were comparing it to One Tricks Point Never and Anohi, and both those artists are very good, but I think that this one has it's got a lot of, you said it's less good than those. I just think there's a lot of juice in this song. And
it was probably unfair. I hadn't heard the whole song, but I do think I don't know, when I hear One Tricks Point Never tracks, like it feels fresher than this. And
and that's one of your favorite bands and stuff, but whatever.
Not really. I think I will say, I think Anoni, I'm super psyched, super
amazing,
psyched on. That's an S. She gets an S.
Yes.
But One Tricks Point Never, I think, is just excellent producer. I wouldn't call him one of my favorite bands.
In any case, we're gonna go back and do the 5 songs, and then John and I, and mostly John.
By the way, we wouldn't grade.
We're grading them now. But
I know. All right.
And then grading and then ranking. Okay, sweet. So here's the first one. Grade again with the amazing.
Know what's up? I voted for a man named Donald J. Trump. Cause when they're playing the anthem, I stay.
And then we got Minal Minul. And then we got Zero with the long intro, but then only a minute and 10 seconds. Good drop, and then Cobra Venosa.
Triplets are dope.
Yeah, and then Rajadao is the last one with
Caio vai levantar e a gente levanta a mão pro alto e sente o rajadão.
Cool. So what kind of grades you feeling? Yeah.
Oh man. I think
start with the, or do whatever you want.
Yeah, I will start.
Maybe go in order.
Yeah, go in order. So I think grade again, honestly, is pretty good. I think that it's I think naturally somewhat repulsive to my political predilections, but I also think that it's still. He redeems himself in many ways. If you vote for Hillary, cool, we can be cool. If there's hate in the country, that's on us. That's on you and me, man. We gotta figure it out. And I don't fully agree with those fundamentally, but the concepts are noble. But in general, the groove, I dig the groove. And also, thank you, Nas X, for, I guess bringing sort of,
and that was happening before, but that combo of rap and country is a good combo.
But I also feel like it very rarely has kind of gotten to this. Lil Nas X, in my opinion, brought it to the forefront. And I'm sure there's no doubt there's music before. But in any case, great.
What's your grade?
I think I would grade it a B minus. Actually, B minus B. Yeah, I think that it would. I think I would enjoy listening to it anytime that I hear it. Pretty much.
I think I would even say B to B plus maybe for me, because I think that the B range is pretty good though, because it's also super unique. There's not that many great songs that are purely about Trump in this way. So I think that's kind of cool. Okay, what about?
I was gonna say that it's so often I think almost like you're saying it almost all like popular protest music is usually either heavily left-leaning or just anarchist.
Yeah, exactly.
Rage Against the Machine is, vaguely left-leaning, but mostly like fuck all systems. Or like,
totally.
yeah.
It's kind of nice to hear. Exactly. That's why for me it bumps up into the B plus range, just because like it's a pretty good jam, but then it's especially about this interesting stuff. In any case, what about me now?
You could not have picked a more different track to follow Great Again. I honestly, I'm not super connected to it. I think that you connect more with the sort of awkward vocal delivery than I do. And it's got a good groove, dig it. I would probably just put it in, it's a C. It's just right middle of the road C. It's not bad by any means, but it is.
It's not boring, maybe you'd give it a C plus for not boringness, but close to C. Yeah,
totally. It is definitely something that I am not normally exposing myself to, so for that it is fresh. So maybe a C plus. I think that's about
I'd probably give it a B minus. It's a fine version of these kind of but it has a lot of interesting vocal ticks and shit in it, so probably B minus B for me. Okay, what about Zero, which is the one with the long intro?
I like Zero. I think it's probably a build around. I think I'm quite tolerant of music that's abrasive, and I still think I probably wouldn't choose to listen to this track very often. And if it came on, totally would enjoy it. I would put it in a B minus. C plus, B minus, C plus. I think it is interesting, and I do tend to like that sort of repetitive sound.
Yeah, totally. There's a great album or great band in China called Bai, which is a specific character, and the white character, and they have a lot of songs that are like this, which are really cool, post-rock inspired, repetitive stuff. I would give this, for me, I think it's less build roundy, honestly, than the one right above, because the one right above was like, but I guess this one's kind of as well, because it's pretty abrasive. I think, for me, I'd give it a C plus, probably. Interesting stuff, interesting layers, but not a ton. What about Cobra Vinyosa? Do.
Good, really good. The thing is like that, like sub bass line. Whenever that comes in, it's hard to not feel like you're just flexing on somebody. Like at the very beginning. Yeah. I love that vibe. And also, I think, again, since it's Spanish, I don't get a whole lot of exposure to Spanish rap. And so definitely fresh, short enough, very interesting. Doesn't use a snare very often, which in some hands you're like, man, I wish I had it, but on the other hand, like, okay, cool, they're doing something like compelling.
Yeah.
I would give it probably an A minus. It's good. Like, vibe into it, man.
Totally.
Good.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's I think maybe I'm a little bit less into this music than you are. I'm definitely into it, but not as deeply. So I'd probably give it a C plus or B minus range again for me.
C plus, B minus. What do you think is better in this genre? I don't listen to that much, but
I mean, we listened to a song a couple, last week or a couple weeks ago that was like had some similar vibes, the like
another thing in this one that I think it had like good there was like exactly, I think it was a chorus, but it was like the chorus delivery was cool.
There's like, this is the one from, this is different, but this is similar. Reese tried to find something that sounded kind of similar and sounded not at all similar. In any case, yeah, exactly. I think for me it sounds, I'm just like, anything that sounds too just like pure trappy, like, and just like, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I got it. Like, but and for me, like, T and GHT is like the top of this,
Really? Yeah.
I love TNGHG, and it was the first deep purely electronic trap, and there's some other like industrial trap stuff that I love, and this is good. There's like the electric powwow drum stuff, which is amazing, and so I think
that's not this though.
I agree that it is different. It is different, but those are some of the things. So for me, I think it's a good track, but I don't think, I think because for me, I guess it's not one that's like when I listen to it, it's like it's good but it's not. I do think there's other stuff that does like beep 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 boop beep beep. Like there are other things that are in this kind of trap. You think versus like the one two go like beat da beat beat da beep. Oh, it's like that's just weird, So it's like so I'm a B minus.
All right.
And then finally Raja Do.
Yeah. It's no Anoni, but it is very good. I do enjoy it. I think I don't usually connect directly with that sort of like 4 on the floor, this trancey kind of like it's fine, I don't do drugs or go to dance clubs, so maybe I don't fully appreciate.
You don't get it.
I don't get it. Like Christianity, I haven't opened my mind to it. I think it's, but like listening to the end of that track, I think actually was, it showed the diversity of it. Yeah. That's good. That's good music. I would say, all in all, probably an A minus. I think that this is A minus. Maybe I'm just overinflating everything.
That's where I'm at. I'm at an A. I'm definitely in the A range for this one, and
I guess like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, because like I do tend to actually really like when I think about the last track, like I dig the vibe of whatever that was, the last track that you played.
Oh,
but I also would I go out of my way to like listen to it? Maybe, but like I feel like there's like there's so much great music out there, and like I feel like I would go out of my way to listen to this track that we're talking about, number 5.
That's kind of where I'm at too. Where the other one's like it's like good, but it's not like whoa, I need to like go back because there's so much texture and interestingness there. Well, this one it just has so much more going for it in terms of it. Yeah, and I mean back to this one too. Crazy good, and it's just full of that, and it's a 2-minute 30-second song, and so it's just like I think it I see what you're saying with the 4 on the floor stuff, and probably I'm more game for that than you are, but for me this one's like I'd go out of my way to listen to it, and I think it's tough to know the difference between A minus, A, and A plus, but I think it is definitely, I'd give it an A. Just a solid A. Would listen to it. Don't know that much in the genre that's better than it, but haven't given it enough listens to fully understand. So the ranks for folks are a lot of a couple. A lot of. What do we have for grade again? Both you and I are in the B range, like a pretty good jam. Minimal here, a little bit less. I'm like C. I'm kind of in the B range. 0. It's interesting. I think I guess for me this is the top track. If you were to say your top one, was this the last one?
I'd say that, and I'd probably go. Wow, it's funny. I do like the 4th track, but I actually think I would choose Great Again.
Yeah,
it's just so interesting. And
stand up, keep it real, let you know what's up. I voted for a man named Donald J. Trump. Cause when
what's that guy's name? Oh my gosh, who did there's a
joke song about the going into with the car.
Yeah, what is that? Dude,
I was thinking that you were going to be thinking about that.
I've got to find this because it's Brett.
Nice.
The album. Oh God, what is this? Hold on, stand by, everybody. Granger Smith. Granger Smith has there's an album called Remington, and Granger is City Boy Stuck.
Yeah, the other song.
Penny lovers didn't write no love. Should I home or roll? No, hell no, not me.
Dude.
City Boy Stuck has similar vibes. It's like a Trumpy-ish song, hating on a city boy who's getting stuck, and it's earnest in a nice way. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's earnest in a nice way, but it's also sort of like, it kind of is. It seems okay with making fun of itself, but that's not like fully clear. Like we were talking about with like the Jesus songs, where like, man, is this supposed to be a joke or is it like real? And when you balance that line, like that's where I think some of the most interesting, sort of lyrical content is made.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So we got Raja Dow, maybe great again. Yeah. In any case, those are the rankings for this week. For next week, it's the day before Thanksgiving, so we'll see if we do it. But probably so. And John and I are going to be in person. I'm going to be in Denver, which is going to be exciting. IRL, and I guess we'll stick the double headphone in there and then listen on both our things and then jam. Yeah, exactly. Sick. And then jam it up. And the big piece of news for everybody is that I have just hit 5,000 songs on my Songs for Self. And so what we are probably going to do is do them in chunks of one. It's going to be a speed run session of spending 5 minutes on every chunk of 100 in a pretty intense way, where I'm going to go through and it's going to be a thing where I'm kind of being manic and going, okay, let's listen to this. Oh, this is what I was at here. This is the situation. So I can just be like, oh, that's interesting. And we're going to have to just
watch.
Yeah, you're going to be there. And we're just going to have to just keep on moving through the songs. And so that's likely what we're going to do next time. Or unless we think of something better, which might exist. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed I
do want to think about what we do after that, because I like I think the Song Yourself thing is good, but what makes sense? Oh, have we done Mark Reveille?
Oh, he's so good. Mark Reveille is up there. I mean, I think Kanye could be up there.
Oh man, that'd be a whole fucking show.
That'd be the whole show. The whole show would be yay. We could do Tchaikovsky. It could. I mean, that out for Christmas time. We should definitely do. Maybe let's pencil that in for the Christmas one.
Okay, I'm into that. Yeah, I do think Mark Reveille at some point. I do think at some point. But yeah, I think Tchaikovsky, I think, is a good, very, very topical of the season.
Yeah. Grimes. We have done Grimes.
Really? Oh, were we gonna do Art Angels or Miss Angels?
We could do. I would just choose the top ones. We'd sync on what are the top ones. But yeah, that sounds good. I think that the so what did you just say? Mark Reveille, Tchaikovsky, which I totally know how to spell. Bring Me to the Horizon. It would be great.
Oh, Bring Me to the Horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the ones that I just have here. Pogo, I think, is still up there. I think doing one about dubstep with you could be interesting. I think that those are some of our top ones. Again, always searching for the female folks. So I think maybe it'll be like a next week 5,000 song thing. Week after that, Grimes. Week after that, Tchaikovsky kind of vibes.
Cool. For that.
Yeah, it seems like a good jam. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you for coming on the show today, John. We listened to a lot of songs, and we
thank you for coming on the show today, Reese. Actually, I'm really glad that you were able to make it as the host. I'm glad I could get the guest Reese Lindmark on the show. We might keep him around. We'll see if he has utility. I don't know. He had a middling comedic introduction.
Yeah, I'm not that funny, but I tried my best. Great. Well, with that, thank you for listening, everybody, and we will see you next time on the Lindy Bro Radio Show.
Ciao, bros.